Okay, so this video we're going to be looking at equations with brackets. So in our previous videos we've looked at how to solve equations with pronumerals on either side and also how to solve equations with fractions, but now we want to look at ones in where there's brackets. Okay, there's brackets used in our equation and how we can solve that. So there's a couple of pre-learnings that you need to make sure you know, and that is you've got to make sure you understand what the distributive law is and also how to collect like terms, particularly in algebra. So if you're not sure what they are, pause the video now, go have a quick look to see what they mean, because they're going to help you to definitely understand how we are able to calculate equations using fractions. But as we move forward, there are three things that you need to make sure you do when you're trying to solve equations with brackets. And these are the three things here. And I want you to write these down. So once I've spoken about it, please just pause the video, write these three down, and we'll elaborate on them a bit more, and we'll do a couple of examples. But the first thing is you're going to want to expand your brackets first, and you do that by using the distributive law. So we know, I'm going to do an example here. Okay, so if that is our set of a brackets, the distributive law means that we can sort of expand and separate. So if we have the number on the outside of the brackets, is we're basically timesing everything inside the brackets by 3. So in this case, we've got 3, p plus 4, p plus 4, p plus 4, or you just multiply the outside number by the inside numbers or variables or pronumerals. So in this case, it's 3 times p and 3 times 4, and that's using the distributive law, and that's how we can expand our bracket. The first thing you need to then do is, the second thing is then to collect the like terms. So in some instances, you might have a bigger equation than this. We'll use this as an example, but you might have some other terms that are added to this, and you want to then collect the like terms, and then finally, once you've done that, you can solve using the balance method, which we have done previously. So we're going to do 2 or 3 examples here. I want to make sure you can watch these examples as they're sort of key, particularly using negative numbers, and I'll show you how we follow these 3 steps using the examples we'll do. Okay, so here we go. We'll do 2 examples, one using a negative number and one sort of as a simple one as just to get us started. So the 3 steps are, remember that we need to firstly expand the brackets. So we'll start with this one. So we expand the brackets by multiplying the number on the outside by the numbers on the inside of the brackets. So 3 times p will equal 3p plus 3 times 4, which equals 12, and that will equal 18. So now we have an equation that we can easily solve using the balance method. So we can't collect like terms in this example, as there's not similar variables, pronumerals, etc. in this example. So we don't need to collect like terms. So we can now simply just solve using the balance method. Okay, so I've got plus 12 here. That means it's going to be minus 12 on this side. So that will leave me 3p equals 6. Okay, and if I'm timesing by 3 here, that means I'm going to be dividing by 3 on this side. Therefore, my answer is 2. Okay, so that's how you expand the brackets. You collect like terms if you can, and then you just solve using the balance method. Okay, so now we want to give a second example here in which we've got some negative numbers, just so you can see how that sort of process goes. But we still go through the same thing, not to get sort of disturbed from there. The first part is, as we know, to want to expand the brackets. So negative 12 times 3 will give us negative 36q, plus we've got negative 12 plus, times by 5 will give us negative 60. I'll just put brackets over that because we'll see what we need to do there soon. And obviously we have the RHS on that side. Now we'll check if we need to collect like terms. In this case, we don't need to. As we know, with this case, we've got a positive number and a negative number. That will make a negative number. So the opposites make a negative number. So now we have 36q minus 60 equals minus 132. Okay, just to show you what to do there. And now we can again just solve using the balance method. So I've got negative 60 here. That means I need to add 60 on both sides. Okay, so we've got negative 36q will give me 72. So minus 72. All right, and now I can move on to the next part. So I have minus, so if I'm timesing q by negative 36, on this side I'm dividing the negative 32 by minus 36. Okay, therefore q will equal 2. So negative divided by negative equals a positive. In this case, we've got q equals 2. I want to give you one more example where we can look at collecting like terms and show you how that gets done. This example now has, we'll show you how we can follow collecting like terms. So we just, step 1, expand the brackets. We've got one set of brackets here on the LHS. So I times the number on the outside with the number on the insides. So we've got 8, 4 times 2 is 8x, minus 4 times 5 is 20. And then I'm going to add the extra part here of the LHS, which gives me 57. So now you can see on the LHS, I've got two like terms. So I've got 8x and 3x. Because they're like terms, I can now combine them because they're both on the same side, which is our LHS. So 3x plus 8x will give us now 11x. Minus 20, and because I've done that, I've got rid of that. So that just gives me a now more solvable equation. So now I can just use the balance method. All right, so I've got minus 20 here. That means I need to plus 20 on this side, which will give me 11x equals 77. If I'm timesing by 11, I'm dividing by 11 on the opposite side. Remember the inverse part of that. Therefore, x will give me the answer of 7. So that's how you do equations with brackets. So remember the 3 steps are firstly expand the brackets, collect like terms, and then solve using the balance method or backtracking, whichever one you prefer to do. Make sure you ask any questions, and we're going to go through a bit more deeper analysis of that. So making sure we go from there. Thanks, boys.